Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Petite Coding. So last time we were dealing with the unwrapped optional, the first unwrapping that we didn't like, though that exclamation mark, and we did some changes on the tests, and we did some changes on the code, because the behavior was different. And yeah, you will experience this many times. We have done this many times. Okay, so and we have refactored the tests and the code, and this you do many times. You delete the test, you don't want that behavior anymore, you want another different kind of behavior, so you make a test, you delete one. This is just part of TDD. Okay, and what we're going to do now is, first of all, I don't like this assert equals, assert nil, assert equals, assert nil, assert equals, assert nil, so I'll create a helper function. Func assert emblem, assert emblem, assert emblem. And now I should do for day, right? Int. I actually don't need right, I just need an emblem here. Yep, assert emblem, an emblem. Yep, that's the only thing that I need to do here. And first I want to assert that it's not nil, not through expression, assert not nil. I want to assert that my emblem is not nil, and I want to assert expected emblem. So this will be my result emblem, and I want to assert it with my expected emblem. So this is an emblem, right? So I gotta assert it. Asserted emblem. Okay, so now nil emblem and ct assert equal my result emblem should equal my asserted emblem, my expected emblem. Okay. Select all of these and press Ctrl I, and it will format you this. It says, yeah, it's result emblem. My result emblem cannot be nil, and my result emblem, expected emblem, and actually now we will never return nil, right? Actually, we can get rid of the test. Actually, we don't need this. You see, actually what we need, this emblem, you create from this make SUT, and this SUT you create the date that's no longer a nil value, and a get emblem that's no longer a nil value. So this is redundant. I don't need to assert that the emblem is not nil anymore. So I can erase this part of the test, this assert, and I don't need a function anymore. The assert, getting rid of all the assert not nil, command U, and this should work as expected. So you see, my emblem is never nil now. And also I have a test that it will always say fighter, okay? So yeah, now that is the case, I'll commit it. And now I only need to do an assert equal. That's it. Okay, so refactor tests that redundantly stated that emblem is not nil. Emblem was refactored to never return nil due to force unwrapping fix. Commit. Okay, so I think that's cleaner, and now we have a serial. Now the next thing I want to do is the emblem. It says for day 18 should be the fighter, but for day 19 should be the fighter also. So what I can do now is somehow like cheat and put another test here, copy and paste. Yeah, I know you shouldn't copy and paste code, but I'm not copying and pasting. So this will be test current emblem where date is October 19, 2019, GMT minus 5 at 300. Let's say 300, okay? And for day 19, and this should return fighter, okay? And it returns fighter, right? Now I can do another test for this when date is 2019 minus GMT minus 5 at 300 should return fighter for a date fighter, okay? Command U, test succeeded. You see, we're testing the same thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really test that. I gotta put 20 there. Command U, test succeeded now. Now what I want to do is that for the date is 21, 22, 22 must be support, right? So let's get this, and for 22, for test 22 at yeah, let's stay with the same hour. Should say support for 22. Command U, and it said okay, so this test is failing because it says XCT assert equals fighter and it's not equal to support, and that's the case because it never goes in here, right? Why it never goes in here is because this just gets through the same emblem index, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. An easy way to get this straight is getting the same date here. So I'm going to say let support date equals get date. My get date for day, I'll say the day will be now 22, and the month it's still the same 10. I can just say get date 22, and this will give me that date. And now I'll say if support date, if support date equals date, then I'll return that support, and this should pass if I said command U, and the test is passing, and that's great, right? Now I need to know for 23, right? So I'm going to copy and paste this test again. It's copy and pasting, but I'm changing the name of the test to 23, and I'm changing this value to 23, and I will say command U, and this test should fail. So now what I gotta do is say let next support date equal get date for day 23, right? Now if support date equals next support date, if next support date, now the minimum amount of code next support date equals my date, then I'm going to return that support. Command U, and the test is passing also here. You see? So it's passing for 22, for 23, right? Let's just commit it. Push remote, fix the issue for October 22 and October 23, right? October 22 and October 23, when date should be, when emblem should return support. Commit to files and push. Right? So what is happening now, if it's the emblem date, I want it to be getting it the next day and the next day and the next day, right? Let's just do a couple more. So you can see what I mean with this, and then we'll get the algorithm to make the test more specific. So now for marksman, if I get this test and I copy and paste, and I say that for marksman the October 25th should be the marksman, this test will fail if I do command U. And yes, it's failing because it says that fighter is not equal to marksman. And what I have to do now is let marksman date equals get date for day 25th, and it's the same month, it doesn't matter. So now I'll say if marksman's date equals date, I'm going to return dot marksman. Command U. Command U. And now it's succeeding. As you can see, it's marksman, right? So what I'm having now is the problem that I need to go through every single day and then switch it. So my emblem index shouldn't be this, but should get the next day, the next day, and the next day, right? And the other problem is that I'm only getting through the emblems, you see. So I'm getting only through the emblems in that force. So I need to find a way to get through all the date until my date is the date I want. Okay, so for this, I'm going to show you the algorithm for this. This is not the way should be working with TDD, but the thing is, we made a mistake here. I'll show you another time with another video how this should have been working, and I will do that because right now we're very advanced with the app, and I want to get further along. So I'll put a link in the description when I have the video and everything about how you should proceed with TDD. But what happened here is that I didn't get all the dates from the start, and that's why the algorithm it's now I'm getting stuck with TDD, and the only way to get this is by getting the algorithm. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let date equals date. This is the date that I'm passing here, right? So now for this, I want to do this while well I want to calculate a date, and I gotta use this for calculated date equals base date. And I'm doing this because I cannot use this one from the parameter because this is a let and I want a var. So I want to do this. So now I'll say calculated date, calculated date, not DTA date. I'll calculated date is less than date. Okay. And what I want to do is to get to add all the indexes until add my date by one until I have the emblem index going on. Okay, so let me just show you how it's going to be. Okay, so my calculated date, I'm going to add it with this calendar, the date, by adding my calendar component is a day. The value is 1, a day, sorry. The value is 1, and the date is from to calculated date to this calculated date. Okay, like this. What is going on here? Okay, otherwise I'm going to get the default date. Get the default date. Okay, so my calculated date will be the default date if I cannot bring this here. And now I need to calculate the days that I'm having now, so I'm going to do var days equals 0, right? And I'm going to add those days here. So what I want to do is return my emblem index. So if days not equal to 0 and days modulo 3 is equal to 0, then I'm going to add the emblem index, right? I'm going to add this emblem index by 1, and afterwards I'm going to return, not in the while, after the while, I'm going to return the emblem at that emblem index. And with this, I should be able to erase this and this. I don't need this anymore. And if I do command, and now what I'm going to do is command U, and I'm having an error here, and it says index out of range, and this is because I'm always adding the emblem index, and it gets to a point that it shouldn't be 1. So this should be emblem index plus 1 modulo emblems.count. Command U, and all my tests are passing. We will need some more tests, but since now our tests are passing, I'm just going to commit this and say added the algorithm for all days, no matter which day it is. Push to remote, commit one file and push. And that's it. Next video I'll show you some things because I'm having some problems with my Mac and I have to fix that first. So thanks for watching and see you next time.